What's going on, everyone? Talon back here, and today I wanted to go over all of the new updated missions when it comes to the Dragon Ball Tournament of Power story event thing that we have going on right now. You know, a lot of questions about what is which, you know, are these characters good? Should you be farming these guys? Which one do you use to farm for Frieza and everything? And what is just overall, what's all the information, right? There's so much information that came out at once yesterday, and with the summoning video and the event that I did yesterday for you guys, I wanted to go over these guys and kind of just show you guys what they can do, okay? So first off, let's go into the story mission itself. Okay, so if it will load here, we can go in here. Okay, so as we know, this is all of the, you know, all of the tournament and power stuff. And like I said before, it's going to be updating basically per week, it seems, basically. But this is going until the 24th. I thought this was actually later. I'll go back up to the top here in a second. I thought it was going later. 31st. Oh, okay, it's hanging around to the 31st, but the 24th will be the last time it updates, okay? Or within that time, I guess. Whatever. Anyway, bottom line, that's kind of what it's been doing. So these are the extra stages that have been thrown out. So the Goku, up to the Gokus to stage 3, that's been around, oh, sorry, stage 4. Stage 4 has been up around until, you know, when it started until yesterday. Then we got all these little extra stages, and for the most part, they're kind of eh. I mean, you get lame training items, you get some medals and everything, but then you start getting these characters in here and everything, even this Gohan. Ultimate Gohan is now purely farmable. You don't have to summon for that tech one on any kind of banner or anything like that. The agility one will suffice. He will do exactly what you want him to do. I even tested it out, and I'll show you guys here in a minute, but you can take him and farm him into the other ones if you want to, okay? So, anyway, so then you've got this Cocoon Frieza, which I love his expression, just what's going on here? And then his medals to Dokkan Awaken him and all that stuff, okay? So, and in order to improve your rates of getting certain things, you need to be able to use basically anyone that's within the Universe Survival category. So that's anyone from Universe 6 for the most part. A couple of the Gokus and the new Gohan here will allow you to do that. The new Golden Frieza will allow you to do that as well. And there are a couple of others that were from that new Tournament of Power banner that is currently out right now. And it's probably going to go away soon. But nonetheless, if you got any of the guys from there, they will also be able to go into that category, and it will increase your chances of taking a look at, go ahead and getting more of those items and everything. Some of them though, some of these stages though, notice they tell you that you can get one or something else. One or something else, meaning your chances of getting certain cards sometimes are going to be really low no matter how high your percent, even if you have a whole team. So you definitely got to be careful there, and this is where having a high stamina bar is definitely really, really helpful, but sometimes even then it does not help. There have been times where I've been trying to go for some of these cards and everything, and I'll go through an entire stamina bar and get maybe one if I am lucky. And it can be pretty ridiculous. Now, the nice thing about it though is if you're looking at the Frieza stage down here, these medals, those are the only thing that drop, so he is guaranteed. But in order to Dokkan Awaken him, you need 20 of those medals, and you only get 2, give or take. Usually you get 1 or 2 just from a normal drop, and you'll get 1 or 2 as a kind of like special drop, like extra bonus if you have a certain amount of those characters to up your chances of dropping more of those medals. So at most you can get 4, average you're going to get around 2 or 3, and yeah, it's a lot of grinding. It is a lot. It really is, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the new cards. These are all the new cards. I have them all. At least I've gotten one of each. I haven't gotten them up to SA10 or anything, but I do want to go through all of them. But this is the Cocoon Frieza. This is the Angel Golden Frieza you can Dokkan Awaken. And if you get him up to a UR, you can feed him into the Int one if you're able to summon for him. And you will get him a 100% SA increase by 1. Get him 9 times. Get him up to SA10 if you want to do it the old-fashioned way. That is what I am personally doing, because I personally think that we are going to be getting some kind of special Dokkan Fest banner after the Jiren and Goku fight. I did an entire video on that. If you want to go ahead and check that out, it'll be linked in the description below. Go ahead and check that out, because I personally think we're going to be seeing something special there. So yeah. Anyway, so again, this is the category that you want to take a look at. It is the Survival Uchujin, which is Space Survival category. So if you bring along those cards, then you're going to increase your chances and everything, and you'll be able to do it no problem, okay? Again, other than that, though, and then if you want to get these cube things, you can do that on Stage 4. As of right now, Stage 4 is the only stage you can do it, but you get a decent amount, and I usually get around 800 to 1,000 per round that I go through on that stage. And then you can get some old Kais. There are 3 old Kais you can get as of right now, and there might be more later down the road. But they all cost quite a bit. So with all this farming and everything, Bandai knows what they're doing. They're like, we're going to give you all this stuff, but you want to be able to get this stuff within time. then you might have to use some stones and everything. But do keep in mind though, and please keep this in mind if you are freaking out over how many stones you might potentially have to use in order to farm these guys, the event is around until the end of October, okay? You have plenty of time to get these guys. And frankly, for some of them, I don't think getting them to SA10 is really worth it, or farming them is really worth it. It really isn't. It just isn't, unfortunately. So there are some you want to do, yes. Some others, I would personally say, in my experience, no. There are better cards that are in game, that are farmable, that are much better than some of these. So anyway, so what do I think? Let's go and take a look at the cards, and then I'm going to give my opinions on if they should be good or not. And I might go onto one of the stages as well. So let's go into my cards real quick, and let's go into the category itself, so that we can take a look at it. We are on the category already. Okay, so first off, this is the Gohan right here, okay? So this Gohan is an Agility Ultimate Gohan. He can be used to farm the super attack of any past Ultimate Gohans, basically, which is really nice. So if you maybe pulled the Strength one, but you didn't get a lot of the Tech ones from the banner, no problem. Farm this guy up, get him up to an SSR, you get a 50% chance to increase his SA. Yes, it's not 100%, but hey, 50% is better than nothing. So hey, and he's farmable, so you don't have to worry about it, okay? From what I've seen, the rates, they've seem to be 50-50 between some people. Some people have gotten him to drop a lot, some people not so much. It depends, I guess, on how many of your cards from this category you are personally bringing, okay? So what does he do? Well, he gives all agility types key +1 and all super agility types the HP attack and defense up 20%, okay? And remember, when he has to be super agility, they need to be Z awakened. Not Dokkan awakened, but Z awakened at least to get that boost and everything. This has been happening ever since 120% leads. If you did not have your characters awakened, they did not get the boost, but once you got them at least Z awakened, then you're good to go and everything, okay? So do keep that in mind when it comes to using him. He raises his attack every single turn, so if you're using him on a pure 100% in-game agility team and it's taking you a while to beat an event, eventually his attack stat will get pretty high, especially if you can get him up to 100%, okay? So what is his passive though? His passive is that his attack goes up by 40%, and if your HP is 50% or above, he'll give himself +3 ki. This is really nice that he is self-sufficient because, as you know, Gohan has never been really good on a lot of hero teams or teams like that really have more of a prepare for battle aspect, and I've never known why they will not give him prepared for battle, even though he's a Saiyan. Yes, he's not Super Saiyan, but you know what? He's basically in the same state as a Super Saiyan. He's definitely more powerful, and he's a Saiyan in the end. It's like, why not give him prepared for battle? I know why they don't, because balance and everything. Yeah, that's all BS out the window right there and everything. But nonetheless, the fact that he provides him those keys is really nice, and unfortunately, I wish Strength Gohan did this as well. I honestly wish Strength Gohan, instead of guarding himself, I would personally prefer that he gives himself a +3 ki boost. I would be totally okay with that. Give the 50% to everyone on the team and provide yourself some ki. The guard, I honestly don't think is really worth it because you already have such a high defense from the leader skill. It's not even funny. So yeah, he's got pretty much everything that the Strength Agility one, or the Strength one has, except for, I think there's one link, it's like Z Fighters or something like that. But nonetheless, he's got pretty much everything. And then, of course, added on here, he has that new Tournament of Power, which is +3 ki. The only way he's really going to be activating this, though, if you are putting him onto a team that has more of these characters and everything. So, using it to farm this story event, all these story events and everything, trying to farm stuff, bringing him along is really nice. He'll get a super off every time, no problem. But put him onto a normal agility team, unless you have him running on turn with Caulifla, which, let's face it, you're not going to be putting him on rotation again unless it's a total free team. But then Caulifla's not total free because she's only gettable by summons and everything. Then it's kind of hard to say. But yeah, so overall though, I think he's not a bad card by any means. I'm definitely going to farm him up, get him to SA10. I need to up the SAs of my other Gohans as well, my physical and my int one and my agility one as well. I need to get all those SAs up. Over time though, I think within the month I'll be able to do it, no problem. But it should be pretty nice to go. But he'd be really good, and I could definitely see myself using him for a complete in-game team for some of the challenges and everything that I like to do, because I am trying to get that Great Saiyaman agility leader from the Baba Shop, and we'll have to see what we can kind of make with that kind of team. So overall, is he worth it? Yes, definitely 100%, okay? Next is this girl, this Yudin girl. She was from that one episode with Master Roshi and Tien. And basically, she is the Peach Peach Girl category leader. She's key +1 for anyone in that category. HP attack and defense up 20. And she has a rare chance to stun right here. Her passive skill is pretty interesting. So her passive skill, I think, makes her self-sufficient. So she gives herself +3 ki, and she lowers the enemy's attack and defense by 15%, And she's got an effect like Whis and Hit, where if she stuns, she'll get this. She has a chance to stun, and it will go for the end of the turn, and then then they'll be able to attack next turn and everything. So that is a medium chance though, whereas Hit and Whis always had a pretty high chance of being able to get that stun off. Okay. In terms of her links and everything, she's mostly got just like in fighter and like, you know, the girls link and everything like that. Do I think she's worth the farm? If you need another Pikachu girl, or even the category leader for that Master Roshi training items event once a day, I think she's okay to get. She can go to a UR. Do I think getting her to SA10 is worth it? Personally, I don't think it is. I really don't think it is. As you can see, she is tech. If any of you have seen any of my in-game tech teams, totally in-game, I wouldn't be putting her on the team. I honestly wouldn't. I seriously would not. Again, if you want to farm for the collection purpose, then go ahead by any means. But if you have to divide your time or say, okay, you know what, I can only go for this amount of characters because I don't have a high stamina bar, or I don't want to spend the stones, or I don't get to play enough really, I only get to play on maybe my trip home or on the weekends or something like that, she would be one that I would personally say skip on. But again, it's up to you in the end. But personally for me, I will not be farming them. I got one of her, and the story event will come back in the future. We all know these story events come back. Maybe later I'll farm her if I find out, oh, hey, she gets a Dokkan Awakening, or she actually is pretty useful. But for the most part, I don't think she really is. So again, your choice on that one right there. Let's see, the next one. We already know about the Goku. I've covered the Goku already and everything. I potentially see him getting a Dokkan Awaken through the story event at the end, probably. I don't know. That's just my opinion and my thoughts that potentially it could happen. But other than that, that is pretty much it right there. Now, the one that I cannot show you that I need to go into the encyclopedia for is because I've been using them to up the essay of my Int Golden Frieza. And if I want to go into there, so let's see, we want Golden Frieza. He should be in here, unless he's just under Frieza. Nope, here he is. He is Golden Frieza. Here he is, Golden Frieza Tenshin, okay? So this is the Strength Golden Frieza, okay? He Dokkan Awakens from that Cocoon Golden Frieza, so obviously you're going to Dokkan Awaken him no matter what. You're not going to keep him at Cocoon for any kind of reason, okay? You can farm up to SA10 if you want to. Do I think he is good on a pure in-game, you know, for a strength team, okay? Again, with the categories and everything, it's kind of hard to say when it comes to this guy. I personally don't think he is. But let's go over what he can do real quick, okay? So his leader skill is Strength types, Ki +2, and Extreme Strength types, HP attack defense up 40%. So he's a lot like that Gohan, except just a little bit more improved because he can Dokkan Awaken to a UR, okay? He will raise the attack for 3 turns on his super attack, and then his passive skill, attack and defense up 40%. And this is the part where I don't think farming this guy to keep around and actually use is really useful, is because of this right here. HP attack, or defense and attack up 40%. Really good, you know, for an in-game card, no problem. This is the killer though right here. If you are facing 2 or more opponents, 2 or more, you get +4 Ki and an additional attack up 40%. Most events require you to face 1 opponent unless it's some kind of special story event. You are never going to have this part of the passive activated, and I hate when they do this kind of passives. If it was 2 or below, totally farm him up and everything. But unfortunately, he is not. So that's kind of a bummer right there. Not to mention his links are kind of again. Like I said, unless you need him, I would say the only reason I go for him is if, again, you need 1 more card to fill out an entire team to be using that category for this story event, then go ahead and do it. But other than that, I would not personally be doing it myself. So yeah, again, I'm more using him to up the essay of my Angel Golden Frieza, the Int one. After that, I'm not going to farm him. I personally don't see the point, okay? And then the last one that I need to go over that I personally have not been able to get because I've just been farming the medals and everything from the story event is if you go to his Dokkan Fest, there's another Frieza that you can actually farm, and it is an SR Agility Angel Frieza. Let's see where he pops up right here. Here he is. So this Frieza right here. So his passive skill is at the beginning of the turn for 7 turns. You give yourself +3 Ki, attack and defense of 50%. This guy, I would say, is pretty good for an all agility team. And if you farm up that Gohan and you bring him along with, say, the Great Saiyaman as a leader, and you bring like a Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta friend, or the new Goten and Trunks LR friend, then that could make a very deadly in-game team right there, because the LR is only your friend. Everyone else could be in-game right there, and his passive is pretty good. So it's only for 7 turns, but if you can finish off people pretty fast, then it is pretty nice. So by all means, I would say definitely go for this guy. I'm going to farm him up. And the nice thing about the Dokkan Fest stuff is that comes around every Monday, even after this event's gone. This event only is around the 13th. So it's kind of hard to say on that one. But I personally say if you get the chance, go ahead and farm him up, though. He'd be really good on that kind of team. So yeah. So those are all the stuff that we got when it comes to this event and the story event, the Dokkan Fest, the whole 9 yards. So in the end, I gave me opinions on what I think you should farm and what you shouldn't farm, or put priorities over, at least in the end. If you want to go ahead and get everyone, that is totally up to you. But personally for me, there will be a few that I don't go for, but for the most of them, I will be going for. And it is nice, though, at least that the Angel Golden Frieza has that total farmable in-game SA, not to mention the Ultimate Gohan now does, which kind of makes the Tech one, I don't want to say worthless, but you were not going to use him to up the SA. I'm going to up the SA of my Tech one because he does have that Hybrid Saiyan category, and I think it'd be kind of cool to use him as more of a baby lead, bring along the Strength Gohan, and kind of see where it goes from there. So yeah. So anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. As always, what cards are you going for? Which ones are you not going for? Leave a like if you liked the video. Subscribe if you happen to be new. And until next time, everyone, I will see you in the next one.